What's your family's favorite meal? Is it spaghetti and meatballs? It's one of my family's top 5, and guess what? One of the ways you can make it a little bit more cost-effective is by making your own breadcrumbs and then serving the meatballs on garlic bread. So you're using the bread in 2 places. Grind them up. That's a lot of breadcrumbs, my friends. Done. Look at that. See how fluffy and light? That's gonna add such great texture to the meatballs. I need just about 2 tablespoons of garlic. Tablespoon for my sauce, a teaspoon for the meatballs, and about a teaspoon for the garlic bread. Garlic mincing snobs will say, do not use a garlic press because it makes your garlic bitter. I do not find that to be the case at all, and mincing garlic takes a long time. So this is a time-saving device, and I am totally for it. I like whole peeled tomatoes. I think it's fresher than crushed tomatoes. 2 cans, 1 tablespoon of garlic, about a half a teaspoon of dry oregano, and I'm gonna saute that over here in this pot. Turn on your stove, add some oil to your pan. If you want it super low fat, use a teaspoon. I'm gonna use a little more because I like olive oil, and I think it's kind of good for you. A teaspoon or a tablespoon of garlic. I'm using a tablespoon. Let your garlic and your oil heat up together just until it's fragrant and sizzling, but not until it's brown. Half a teaspoon of dry oregano. Smell your oregano. If it doesn't have a really nice aroma, get rid of your oregano and get new. In your pan, it's gonna start being fragrant in about a second. Do you smell it? Add your tomatoes. This tool is an immersion blender. If you don't have one of these, blend up your tomatoes before you add them to your pot. I just put this over each tomato and blend just a tiny bit and then just go back in to blend the whole thing up. Don't do this over the heat because you don't want to melt your immersion blender because it's going to be your favorite tool when you get it. Sauce back on. Don't forget salt. Stir. And then just let it simmer for, I don't know, 15-ish minutes. I'm going to cook this uncovered because I want it to evaporate a little bit. Time to make the meatballs. The first thing is you want to soak your breadcrumbs. You could use milk. I'm using water. 1 pound of ground chuck. Fantastic for meatballs. I also use it for hamburgers. 1 egg. I'm supposed to whisk this separately, but this is what I'm gonna do. Push aside my meat, crack my egg into the bowl. So just whisk it right here on the side. That worked, right? Totally. A little bit of oregano, teaspoon of garlic, 3/4 of a teaspoon of coarse salt, and a few grinds of fresh pepper. The key to a good meatball is not over mixing. The minute you start mixing your meat too much, they get tough. I'm gonna wash my hands now because I've been touching meat. Actually, I may touch meat again, but my hands are sticky. Cut your bread in half. Basically, you're making garlic bread here. Drizzle. The great thing is that the crushed garlic is basically disappearing into this bread. Okay, these are ready to go in a 400-degree oven just to heat up. I have to cook my meatballs, which I'm gonna drop right into my sauce. To form your meatballs, you could do one of 2 things. You can get your hands a little bit damp and roll the meat mixture between your hands to make a ball, but you can also use your ice cream scoop to just scoop up the mixture and drop it into the sauce. So my 2 kinds of meatballs are going directly into my sauce. I didn't brown them because I like the delicate flavor. So look at this, I'm just scooping it and dropping it right into the sauce. That will result in a slightly less formed meatball. You'll see that these aren't completely covered with the sauce, and so I'm covering them so that they'll steam a little bit and cook more evenly. Pop these into your 400-degree oven until they're golden brown. I don't know, 10 minutes. Basically the same amount of time it takes to cook your meatballs. I think they're done. All right. All right. Are you ready? I am ready. This is a rolled meatball. It's got nice meatball shape. This one, a little misformed. That's the one I scooped. Your choice. Of course you could serve this over spaghetti, but why not try it this way? It's kind of cool. A little piece of bread maybe? What could be more delicious or more satisfying or more fragrant? Nothing. Try this tonight.